Hello, hello. We are back. I wanted to pop in. We are very excited, hearts and souls aligned marriage coaching program. Yes, we are back again today to talk about this. We want you to get on the wait list. Being on the wait list is going to be so amazing. Hi, Michelle. Uh-oh. I'm not seeing. Are you using your cell phone, Michelle? Because it's not showing where I can click on you and bring you in. Darn it. Let's see, because we've tested this before. We were able to bring 3 people on at once, and maybe you can send a request. Oh, she is on her cell phone. Yes, here it goes. I see it, and I clicked it, and then it disappeared. Okay, try again, please, Michelle. We are going to be introducing you to Michelle Schaffer. She is the founder of Girl Power Alliance, and Leanne and I are both ambassadors with this amazing company. And Michelle is so gracious. They offer done for you membership, done for you courses, all this beautiful stuff. And we've been able to partner with one of the courses that Michelle is the trainer, teacher. You don't see her, I don't think you see her face, but you hear her lovely voice in this course. And she is teaching us some amazing, beautiful things. Let's see. Oh, I think I did it. There we go. I can add her. I did it. And we want you to be able to meet the lovely and most beautiful Michelle. I'm sorry, Michelle. Do I mess it up when I say Michelle? Okay. Michelle Schaffer. Do you want to introduce yourself? I kind of did a little light introduction, but I would love for you to introduce yourself to everyone who's watching.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, ladies. Thank you to both of you for what you're doing. I am a mother to 3. They're all grown-ups, so I don't have any left at home. We're empty nesters. I have been in the network marketing space for 20 years and have been officially in the creator space since 2020 and have created courses, certifications, workbooks. I am obsessed with transformation, and I am obsessed with helping people transform into the person that God created them to be, and raising up leaders who raise up leaders, because we know that our mission is to fulfill the commission.
I love that so much. And she's an author also. As you were talking, I was thinking about that. Like, I have one of your books on my shelf.
Aww.
So yes. Leanne, did you want to introduce yourself?
So, hey everybody, I am Leanne. I am a marriage coach. I am really excited to partner with these ladies because this has been a work in progress that God has birthed in me years ago. And so to see this coming to fruition and the way we can incorporate all the stuff that we've learned through Girl Power Alliance and Justina and I partnering has been absolutely amazing. So I know that this coaching program is going to bless you heaps.
Yes, I so agree. First, we just have to really thank Michelle, because I shared this with Leanne, but I want to say it with you on as well, Michelle, that I have felt in my heart, I'm like, well, all 3 of us together have over 80 years in marriage.
That's
almost
crazy.
a century. It's crazy. So I've known just from my past, like from just the discipleship and just holding space for women in their marriage, that like I'm gonna do marriage coaching at some point. I don't know what it's gonna look like, but I knew that I don't hold that title as marriage coach. So I didn't want to enter that realm that way. And then I also just didn't want to do it by myself.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the power that we have here at Girl Power Alliance as well, is we say it all the time. What is it? Collaboration over competition, no competition in the kingdom. And that's how people get value. When women like us can actually come together. And I'll say this, Michelle, your business model for Girl Power Alliance When I first saw it, like, it just genius, the business model, where women can come together and rally around the same cause. And then there's so much diversity in what's at Girl Power Alliance that we can pick a lane and we can like live there. Like me and Leanne could literally live here with this marriage coaching for like the rest of the year because we're so passionate about it. So essentially, you're allowing us to borrow your intellectual property and pair it with the coaching, right? And it's beautiful. It's part affiliate marketing. It's part network marketing. I mean, you're just going all over all the beautiful lanes, and I love it. So I did get excited, and I did get into the business model because I love business. Let's just call it what it is. I absolutely love it. And we're also, the women that are going to come into this program, something that me and Leanne picked up on is this for professional women. It's for women in business, women who are like killing it in their careers, but yet you come home
Mhm.
and you don't quite see the same, level of success there. So we want to hold space for those women. And then another piece of this is if you're married to someone who is an unbeliever, or you're married to someone who you're unequally yoked with at different seasons in my marriage, those things have been an aspect of that has been true. I think that's something that both Leanne and I both bonded around as well. So we want to help those women to just really look at Christ, look at Jesus, even though there is that difficult thing going on in their marriage. So I just wanted to share that with you and just get more insight from you, Michelle, on where this marriage course came from. Like, why did you feel called to do it? And how did you know like it had to be in Girl Power Alliance? So I'm curious to hear all of that stuff. Oh, I think you're muted. Let's see. Can you hear her, Leanne, or is it just me?
I can hear her now. No, not now.
Oh, darn it. Let me check because I could hear her earlier. Um, yeah, I can. Oh, no, I can still see the mute on it. Why is she muted? I know she has some good stuff to say. Oh, man. I hope I didn't mute you. Maybe you want to hop out and come back in? Or no? Let me look at this. Hmm. Darn it. I can't figure. Oh, she hopped out. She's going to come back.
Yeah.
Okay. It's getting so good.
I'm
And so we're
quite
trying to get the
excited,
lovely.
Justina.
What's
I'm
that?
quite excited for everybody to hear where her heart is with this. And they can
Yes.
then see that, because I think that the name of our program, Hearts and Souls Aligned, is so, I'm seeing more and more how this was so God, because everything is aligning. And the same with Michelle creating this course. It's just all in alignment. So I'm excited to hear where Michelle, her heart is, because it's obviously in alignment where we are wanting these ladies to be.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I'm still seeing it's muting her. Why is it muting her? That is so strange. I can literally see a microphone with like a line going across it on my screen. So, interesting. Your viewers, guess she was just heard. Let me see. Let me add her again. Send the invite. Okay, let me look at that. Approve. I approved it. Unable to add guests while a user is connecting. Okay, she's connecting. They're like, stop trying to go too fast. The beautiful thing is when we download this, we can always cut out certain pauses and all that beautiful stuff. So if you're watching with us live, we are having a couple of technical difficulties, but we are trying to get it together over here. Facebook, if y'all know, Facebook has done some interesting stuff with the live streams. And what we may have to do is just hop on Zoom, have the conversation, and then share it later if we're having too many issues. So let's see. Michelle Schaffer, she just left. I think she's going to try to come back in. I'm going to approve it. Ask Michelle, okay. And then it says no answer from the live video guest, but it is so interesting. Let's pray. Yes, we have a joining. Are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Okay. Well, thank you. Nobody's ever asked me that. I appreciate the question. Thank you for being patient. I don't know. I saw the mute too, and it wasn't letting me unmute. Well, I really, what really happened, the truth was, Bobby and I, we've been together, we met in 2020 on a blind, wait a minute. No, we met in 2000 on a blind date. And I had been single at that point for, over like 6.5 years. And we had a blended family. And, over the years, we've been through a lot of stuff, like, and both being entrepreneurs. That's like another category. Blended family, entrepreneurs, so many things. And we people would always come, and we worked together. We've worked together side by side. This is my 20th year in network marketing, and we've worked together. That means 20 years of our relationship of 24 years. And people would always comment about it, like, oh, you guys. And I thought, what is it? Like, what are things about our relationship that maybe are different? Maybe other people don't know. It's literally the heart behind the course. So I just started to think about what are some things about our marriage that I think other people could implement.
Oh,
Can you hear me still?
yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had a call come in. What are some things about our marriage that I could share that people could implement into their own marriages that might make a difference? And so that was the heart behind it. I just wanted to give people some tips, things that maybe are different about he and I, and maybe some things that people just aren't aware of, because we've worked. Like, it didn't just happen. We have worked hard on communication. We've worked hard on serving the other person, and we're very intentional about it. Because I was divorced, we had a conversation before we decided to get serious, like, I'm not doing that again. So I think a lot of times when you get married, you're not talking about the possibility of divorce. We had that conversation, like, if we're going to do this.
You got muted again. I don't know why the phone keeps muting you. I don't know if it was a notification. I know when you got the other call, like, kind of muted you. When you swiped it away, then it unmuted. Mm-mm-mm. We are going to have to record this on Zoom. It was getting so good. Do you all want to hop on Zoom and then we can record it and share it later?
I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, I am too, because Facebook is being mean to us today. And so,
Oh, can you hear me?
oh, yes, we can hear you.
I'm sorry. I don't know why it's doing that. Anyway, so I built this course, and I built it with the idea that maybe just some small, like, I don't think that there's anything groundbreaking, to be honest with you. These are just small things. But what happens in life and marriage is you put so much effort into so many other things. I feel like you're not we as humans aren't necessarily intentional. And I think it's the small little things about our relationship that have made the biggest difference. And so I didn't know if anybody was going to like it or if it was going to impact people, but it's been our probably our most popular course. When I first built it, it was specifically to be in GPA, to be part of Girl Power Alliance. I don't know if I even would have, if it wasn't for Girl Power Alliance, I probably wouldn't have built the course. But it was something that people were asking about. On a personal side, people asked me and Bobby about it. And then it was something that people were like, we would love to have something to help our marriage. And I've been really happy to hear so many testimonials of people that have gone through the course. Sometimes just one person goes through the course and they implement some of the things. And then as a result, the other person, the other part of the marriage, the other person in the marriage will go through it. Sometimes people go through it together. And I've heard amazing things just from these simple little intentional things the testimonials have been really, really beautiful. And I think this is just the beginning. Like, we really envision doing a marriage retreat next year, and diving in even more specifically with when it comes to marriage, because we know that the enemy wants people's marriages to fall
Oh,
apart.
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. I love
yes.
what you shared, Michelle, about the simple, that it's simple things, because actually you and I had this talk yesterday, hey Justina, when I said the same thing for me is I found that in my marriage, it was the simple little nuggets that we take for granted that make the huge difference. So it's just those, and when I say to people, oh, do this, and they like, that's so simple, and it really is. It's just about putting Christ at the center, using those simple tools and seeing changes happen in your marriage. So I love that you said that.
Well, marriage
Yes.
is hard by itself. Like, let's be honest. I am opinionated. I have my own ideas. I have my own ways that I like things. And then you take this other person who has their own baggage. They grew up a certain way. They have their own beliefs, and you put them together and expect it to just be like, oh, everything's beautiful. It's not. And that's another thing that I have really learned is that, the design of marriage, I don't think is designed for your happiness. And I say it, and I think people are like, what are you talking about? I don't think that marriage was designed for happiness. I think marriage was designed to help you grow, to help shape you, to help you become somebody else, and to be an expression of Christ's love. I mean, if you
Mm,
can stay together in a marriage, being two totally different people in this wild and crazy world, and you can love each other, it's such a blessing to your children, to the people around you. But it actually, here's another thing that I've learned just over the years, that our marriage, it's just, we have a strong, great marriage. I mean, we fight, we have the things, but our marriage has been a blessing to other people because they get to see us working together, the way we interact with each other, and it's gives people a sense of hope, and it's a blessing to other people. So a healthy, strong marriage is not just a blessing in the marriage; it's a blessing to other people, which really it's been encouraging to me and Bobby to even want to, like, not work harder, but to realize it matters. It matters in the world. It's an important thing. And it's been a blessing to our children. It's an example to them. It's been a blessing to our families. I mean, even my grandparents. I just lost my grandpa this year, but my grandparents are blessed by me and Bobby's marriage. His family talks about, it just is a beautiful thing. And so, but I have become who I am because of the marriage,
hmm
because of not getting along and things that weren't natural to me that have been able to be shaped in the most intimate relationship you'll be in your entire life, other than your relationship with the Lord.
Yes. Oh goodness. So, so good. I think that yeah, the biggest piece I heard you say is like marriage is not for your happiness. My husband and I were just talking about that. We were like, the world sold us a lie. They
Yes.
sold us something about what marriage was, so that, oh, you can meet my needs and I'll meet your needs and then we're gonna be so happy. And it's like, no, he's his own individual person with a relationship with the Lord. And I had partly I had to learn to be my own individual person and not
Yeah.
have like this attachment of like we have to do everything together, right? You look at
Yeah.
a relationship, you think that's what the success is. You got to do everything together and we have to like the same things and all this stuff. And I just think that yeah, I was sold a lie, especially all the R&B songs and all the lyrics. They filled us with this junk of what
It's true.
relationships are supposed to be, and it's just not
And like,
true. More of
you complete me. That's false. Like, and I think it's this unmet expectation because of the lie that we've believed our whole life. It's the Cinderella fairy tale, and then they lived happily ever after. Like, no, not really. Like, there are truly moments of incredible happiness and joy. But if your expectation is that this other person is going to fulfill every need, they're going to make you not lonely, they're going to complete you, they're going to make you happy, you will always be sorely disappointed. And then that's when bitterness comes in and you start blaming, like, you're not doing this for me, you're not doing that for me. My mother-in-law said something to me once, that she was talking with her mother-in-law, so it would have been my grandmother-in-law. And she was saying, young in her marriage, Bobby's parents have been married for over 50 years. And she was saying that early on in her marriage, she was complaining to her mother-in-law about something. I don't even know the subject, but her mother-in-law's response was, I hear you saying a lot of me, me, me. And that's a huge, and she said it stuck with her so much that she shared it with me. And that's like a really profound thing in a marriage. You know, if you're only worried about what you're not getting and what is not being done for you, then you know you'll always be miserable. That's why one of the things in there, which when you guys start, you'll know, I think it's week 2, we talk about the, you know, really focusing on the positive of your spouse, that you get more of it. And that is a game changer. If nothing, if when you go through the course with these girls, those of you that are watching, if you take nothing else away from the course but week 2, your marriage can have a complete 180 shift because of week 2.
Yes, I agree. There's another part of the course, I'm not going to say, but because they have to wait, but it goes along with a book inside of the Wear Your Faith, boutique. I bought that book, went and did that. Oh, Michelle, when I say just like the softening of my husband's
It's crazy,
heart,
right?
Yeah.
I have
Me
goosebumps, baby
too.
goosebumps talking about
Me
it.
too.
I mean, just the softening of his heart and it's just not something that I had done. It wasn't
Yeah.
something I was very intentional about. That piece you're talking about, that intentionality, and to be able to do it in that condensed period of time and like
Yeah.
just hand it off like that. And then they're just overwhelmed. I mean, he was in tears with it, So
That's so beautiful.
what a blessing. And I think after that experience, that is when my heart was just like, okay, God started whispering. He's
Yeah.
like, you were supposed to do this. I know I want you to do something with marriage, but what if? And then Leanne had came to me talking about the marriage coaching that she does, her own packages and stuff. And I was just like, but what if we paired this with Girl Power Alliance? It would be so awesome. And so the course, that is going to be something the women get to keep. They get to take, have, refer back and forth. Coaching, yes, it lasts for the 8 weeks. That's beautiful. But what are you taking with you beyond that? And they're going to have that beautiful Biblical Marriage Bliss course to remind you of the pieces that we sometimes forget, which I think is so, so awesome. So, and then I got the opportunity to come in with this demographic, right, of women who are married and all of that, and offer the mind body work. For me, mind body work and inner healing, that is so near and dear to my heart. And I knew that it transcends niches, right? You do mind body work with athletes, you do it with kids, you do it with business owners. And I was like, I want to do this with women in their marriages, but I can't, it's not a standalone for me to be able to do that. So being able to pull all 3 of these pieces together, I just feel like the value is just coming from so many different
It's
angles, and
ridiculous.
it's going to be beautiful.
It's ridiculous. The value is insane with what you ladies are doing. I just wanted to add one little thing. When you said the name of the course, it reminded me. People ask, like, why did you name it that? Well, my grandparents, who were married for almost 70 years, my grandfather just went to heaven this year, but they were married for almost 70 years. Or was it over 70? It's a long time.
Yes.
Um, on their 50th wedding anniversary, Bobby says to my grandpa, congratulations, like, you know, so he asked him a question about it or something. And my grandpa's response was 50 years of wedded bliss. And it literally like stuck with me. And so it almost has become like this little joke because he said it very kind of funny. Like it hasn't always been bliss, you know what I mean? Like, but
Yes.
they were very, very much in love, even, you know, up to the day my grandpa went to heaven. And so that's where the name come from,
Oh.
biblical marriage bliss. Like it's not, and it's not bliss, but it is because the process of growth is
Mm-hmm.
really a beautiful, it's hard, but it's a beautiful thing to grow together. And I think that's a very, very key point in a marriage is that you
Yes.
do, most people, the husband has his career, the wife has her career or whatever she's doing. Oftentimes it's not together. So they're growing separately. And oftentimes they can grow apart because of that. So to have some things that you are doing intentionally to continue to grow together, I think is a key factor in, having a marriage be fulfilling and long lasting.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yes. And I love how there's just that honesty, around the bliss. It's like not every moment is going to be blissful, but if we can grow through it, like that was something that really kept me. Like it'll be 20 years next year for my marriage, and thank you. We've had some hard times, but what kept me holding on is like if we could just get to the other side of this, it's gonna be beautiful. I have so much faith and trust in like the power of God to transform us. Now, see, the more mature side of myself now says us, the immature side of myself before would be like transform him, make him
Yeah.
change.
Yeah.
But now it's like, no, I know you can shape us for this thing called biblical marriage of what it's supposed to look like. So I've just had that, even if it was the size of a mustard seed, like that little bit of hope. God, if you could just bring us to the other side, that is what would keep me holding on. Now, I did have moments where I wanted to give up. And I looked at God and was like, I'm so done with this. And he's like, no, you're not. You're going to give it another year. And I'm like, really? Okay, fine. That obedience. And whew, I'm so grateful
Yeah.
that I stuck it through those times because, we're in such a good place now. And I just want to encourage other women that are listening to this. If you're not in that good place right now, man, it's okay. Have faith, have that seed of hope and that faith that God can transform and you can get to the other side of it. So,
I loved
yeah.
Amen.
what you said, Justina, about the hope, because actually that's something God showed me a couple of weeks ago, at the difference between faith and hope. And faith is for today. Faith is what you hope you are expecting from God today, but hope is for the future.
Mm-hmm.
And so having that little bit of hope, like you said, because I was the same. I just was so hopeful that God was going to do something and transform my marriage. And that's what kept me going. And so for these women that are coming in, if you just have got just a real tiny bit of hope like this, like it really just needs to be that small, um, you can then transform your marriage yourself first, because that's what we talked about in, and part of the Biblical Marriage Bliss also talks of that, Michelle, doesn't it? Where you're changing yourself and you're reflecting on yourself, because so often we look at our partner and we're like, if only if you did this, we would be happy. And as we both know, that doesn't often happen. No, well,
Mhm.
doesn't happen at all, because it's about changing us and aligning ourselves with God. And
Yeah.
even in the week 2 of your course, Michelle, that actually was such a beautiful thing for me, because I've done that throughout my marriage because I had to be grateful for those things. But one of the things I did was, and that was just because of your course, I actually did a journal completely different for my husband, and was able to give that to him for his birthday. So
Mm.
after a whole year, and so just so
Wow.
he can go back and reflect and see all of those things that I have been grateful for over the year. It was an absolutely beautiful moment. So there's such beauty that can come out of this.
Mhm.
It's
Oh, yeah.
really and the craziest part of all these things is you're the one that changes. Like
Yeah,
you change.
yeah.
Yes.
You're the cat, you're right, Leanne. Everybody's like, Lord, change this about him. Lord, make him do this. Lord, make him do that. And the moment we stop doing that and we take radical responsibility for who we are in the marriage, then everything actually changes.
Hmm.
Amen.
Oh, yeah. So
Mm.
good.
Well, I just want to say thank you to both of you for doing what you're doing. I know it's going to impact so many lives, and the result of the ripple that you're creating is you won't know it this side of heaven, but it's going to go really, really far. And I appreciate you, and thank you for inviting me on here. And I'm supporting you and praying over you and all the couples that you're going to impact. And by the way, even if you're not married, this is a great thing to do to prepare you to become the woman or the man that
Mm.
really can be prepared for marriage. I mean, I think we're trying to fix problems when they're happening, but if we had done this work before, you head off and learn so many things about what it really takes to be in a marriage. So I don't even think you have to be married to get tremendous um, benefit from
Yeah.
what you guys are doing, the coaching and the courses that you guys are doing.
Yeah. I'm so glad you said that because we bring lots of baggage to our marriages. And if we do that healing part and all the stored like memories and emotions and stuff that gets stuck in the body, if anybody hasn't read the book, The Body Keeps a Score, like that is the level of work we're going to be doing in this particular program. Like if you can clear that junk out, like before you get married, that's totally awesome, you know? So I'm glad you brought up that point. It makes perfect sense. Oh, yeah.
Well, thank you. I appreciate both of you, and thank you so much for including me. And I love you both. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Thank you,
Love
Michelle.
you too. Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.